Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. I'm gonna go to bed, but after I'm gonna pre-record these two videos, and I'm gonna go to bed. I just want to get these pre-recorded, wake up and upload them for the video schedule for October 22nd. I'm just gonna pre-record these. First video I'm gonna do is my World Series. It's World Series Preview 2025 World Series. My Dodgers against the Toronto Blue Jays. It's going to be a hell of a series, first off. Bo Bichette might return for Toronto. I mean, it's not like they fully need him, but him returning could help their lineup even more. Not like it needs much help anyways. Let's get into it. The Fall Classic. There's only one Fall Classic, man. It's going to be a hell of a series. The 2025 World Series is set. It's going to be the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. After my defending champion Dodgers swept Milwaukee in the National League, the Blue Jays outlasted the Seattle Mariners in the American League Series in a thrilling 7-game series where George Springer hit that winning homer. So let's go over what carried Toronto and Los Angeles this far, and will it continue to work in the Fall Classic. So for the first time in more than 3 decades, the Toronto Blue Jays are back in the World Series, where they will find the well-rested, defending champion, defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers waiting for them. It's the third Fall Classic for Toronto, for the Toronto franchise, but the first time since the Jays won back-to-back titles in 1992-93. The Expos never won a pennant, so the 2 Toronto pennants account for all World Series appearances by Canada-based clubs. So Game 1 at the Rogers Center will mark the 7th World Series game played outside the U.S. border, and spoiler alert, Canada will be rocking in Game 1, especially. There's a fairly limited history between in terms of regular season interleague play. The Dodgers hold the all-time edge. 1911, the franchise did not meet until June 18, 2002. The Blue Jays won that initial encounter behind a Roy Halladay complete game that featured an interesting pair of leadoff hitters. Hitting first for Toronto that game was Chris Woodward, who's the Dodgers' current first base coach, and leading off for the Dodgers was Dave Roberts. So there's that. Before the season, the simulations gave a 2.28% chance of this happening, but because the Jays weren't forecast as a favorite and the American League figured to be a tightly packed, as turned out to be the case, there were 8 other teams that faced the Dodgers more than 10,000 simulated seasons, including the Mariners, who the Jays vanquished in the American League. But it's a novel Fall Classic. That matchup featuring old school traits for the Dodgers. It's been a joyous leading of dominant starting pitching for Toronto. It's a throwback offense that features standout batting, more precisely, a trace that leads to what passes for high average in 2025 baseball. All this makes this Dodgers-Jays showdown just a fascinating clash of teams with different plays of style. Because the Dodgers, what they've really done this postseason, the offense has been up and down at times, but what's been there? The starting pitching. They were good in the wild card series. The offense, the DS, they were okay, and in the CS they were fine, but they got the big hits when they needed, and then they had that big game from Shohei Ohtani. The Blue Jays are just a team that have slug, and they hit for they get contact as well. They put the ball in play. They don't strike out a lot. It's going to be a different test though against this starting pitching staff with Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Ohtani, and maybe certain guys out of the bullpen at times if you need them. But Toronto, what is the number one factor that's carried them to the World Series for the first time in 3 decades? This one's easy. Vladimir Guerrero. Got that big $500 million contract, I believe it was. And he's been the best player in this postseason. 6 months after signing the largest contract in Major League Baseball history, he's played the part of a superstar in October. Absurd slash lines of 442, 515, 930. He has 3 strikeouts all month. His 6 home runs tied the Blue Jays franchise record for postseason home runs in a career. He also showcased good defense at first base and smart on the base pass. Vladdy, phenomenal. For a guy who entered October with a damn ugly October history, he has put them on his back in October. I mean, not fully carrying the team, obviously, but he's been their best player. There's been just contributions up and down the lineup with Toronto. If Guerrero has a big World Series, he will probably go down as a great posting performance. But let's give a shout out to Trey Savage and to the Blue Jays for having the belief in him to make him their number 2 starter by having Kevin Gausman at the start of the postseason. Even though Savage had just made 3 starts in the regular season, he pitched 5 1/3 scoreless innings against the Yankees in the ALDS. Pure domination. He got 3 double plays to beat the Mariners in ALCS Game 6. The stuff speaks for itself. The Jays asked a lot from a young pitcher, and he has delivered. So that's some things right there. Vladdy and Trey Savage are 2 big reasons. But I felt the Dodgers, the Blue Jays have a lot of right-handed pitching, so that could kind of maybe be a concern. That's because Ohtani, Freeman, guys like some lefties right there. Edmonds a switch hitter, so. But I still like the Blue Jays pitching as well. And will it won't continue against the Dodgers? Yes, but in limited doses, because the Dodgers will probably pitch around Guerrero whenever possible. Nothing suggests he'll slow down when given pitches to hit. Could the Dodgers attack? Sure, but I think they might just pitch around Vladdy, just because of how good he's been. The rotation has been utterly dominant, but Guerrero has hit elite pitching this month. He's hit all kinds of pitching. Felt the pressure will be on the guys behind him, Alejandro Kirk, Varsho, Ernie Clement, to make the Dodgers pay if they don't pitch to Guerrero. It will be a little more difficult, though. The Dodgers, like the Mariners, strike out a lot. They also chase out of the zone far less than Seattle. 3rd lowest chase rate in the regular season, paired with 17th from the Mariners. The scouting reports on Savage were thin at the start of the playoffs, but now I have 3 additional games to consider. His tendencies. He was a little lucky to escape, those 2 bases loaded jams. He'll have to be more crisp against this Dodgers team. Vlad Jr.'s been scorching hot all month. What should we expect from him in the World Series? You should probably expect to continue. But I feel like our rotation is better swing and miss stuff. But I still think Vladdy's going to have a good World Series. One of their players most critical to the chances of World Series of a title, the bullpen is the Blue Jays, I guess, weakest link, which makes Louis Varland significant in this series. And he's John Schneider's most trusted reliever. He's pitching 10 of the 11 playoff games, often the biggest spots in the middle innings, and he's recorded more than 3 outs 3 times. He's been good. The Blue Jays could carry out the 4 left-handed relievers in their bullpen, like Mason Fluharty, Brendan Little, Eric Lauer, Justin Brewer to counter Ohtani, Freeman, and Max Muncy. Sure, these lefties have kind of struggled, but those lefties have kind of struggled in the postseason with Toronto at times. Well, Eric Lauer and Justin Brewer, they really haven't pitched much, but Brendan Little has a good, and Fluharty, we'll see. But they could counter with those lefties. But Varland, who splits during the regular season, weren't all that drastic. Against lefties and right-handers, he was good. Jeff Hoffman might be their closer. I think George Springer will be another key factor. With this Dodgers team, what's the number one factor that has carried them back to the World Series? Their extraordinary pitching. Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Ohtani. They've dissected Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Milwaukee in 64 1/3 innings. A 1.40 ERA. It's not by accident. Batters are hitting slashing 132, 207, 201. They've struck out 4 times as many as they've walked and allowed just 2 homers. Now it's the Blue Jays' turn. Their offense has had moments. They're capable, but they haven't seen a rotation like ours yet. And it is their 4 starting pitchers, and as I will note, the evolution of a 5th one. As a closer, Roki Sasaki. The Dodgers were searching for answers late in games when October arrived. It's no secret. Had it not been for Sasaki recapturing that velocity in his fastball and quickly adapting to that high leverage bullpen role, they likely would not maybe be here. The Dodgers have won 9 of their 10 postseason games, and Sasaki's recorded the final out in 5 of them. In another, the Game 4 clincher in the NLDS, he pitched 3 perfect innings. So will it won't continue for the Blue Jays? I don't know. You just have to see. I mean, Toronto's scored the most runs. They hit the most home runs. They struck out at the lowest rate of any team this postseason. So, the Dodgers pitchers average 96.0 in their fastballs. Toronto's hit the fastball really well, so that's going to be interesting to see. I hope, going 3 for 3 and getting 3 homers for Ohtani gets him going, because he came in a funk, really, most of the playoffs, so hopefully that 3 for 3 got him going. His career numbers aren't good against Gausman, Bieber, and Scherzer, but we'll have to see what happens here. It's fair to say he won't match Game 4 of the NLCS, one of the greatest individual performances in baseball history, but he'll get at least 1 start in the World Series, and we'll see how his at-bats go. Which other player is most crucial? Starting pitching will continue to lead the way. Who combined to just slash just 223, 313, 364 at the plate over the past 2 rounds. They know they have to do better to try and repeat. Freddie Freeman in particular will be key. Mookie Betts, like Tommy Edman, Kike Hernandez, Andy Paez, guys like that in the bottom of the lineup will be key. I'd say those are other players. But I say Mookie Betts is another one. But Snell gets the ball in Game 1, Yamamoto Game 2 for the Dodgers. I assume Game 3, Glass Snell, Game 4, Ohtani, and then back to Snell, Yamamoto, and I guess Glass Snell for a potential Game 7 if the series does go that far. That's kind of my preview here. I'm going to pick the Dodgers to win in 7 games. I think it's going to be a hell of a series. These are 2 damn good offenses. Even the Dodgers offense hasn't looked that great this postseason. Now it's really been the starting pitching and timely hits. But it's going to be a great pitching matchups all series. But I think the Dodgers will get it done in 7 games. So yeah, it's all to say, man. Leave a like, subscribe for more. Peace.